2025 on track 19 at Penn Station is a great locomotive, DM30AC 518. He's got a great K5LA horn, and he's going to be leading the Cannonball to Montauk, which I will be riding. Only 3:33, so we got over a half hour before he leaves.
Okay, here we go. Now he's pulling out of here on electric mode. Just emerge from line 3 tunnel as you're looking at the skyscrapers of Long Island City, Queens. That trestle is the remnant of the old Montauk cutoff. Going through F interlocking, letter F. Oh man, he's still in E mode. I just heard a spark there.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, there's the number 7 subway up there. Over on the other side is the Sunnyside Yard. You can't see it too clearly from here. Interlocking here is Harold. This train is hotter than a firecracker.
Sir, thank you. Skip all the traffic.
All right, I can hear the diesel engines now. Notice that culvert right next to us? It's got catenary wire on it. That was something new that Amtrak built to allow Amtrak trains to negotiate Harold interlocking without tying up Long Island Railroad trains. This culvert over here is the tunnel from Grand Central, the Grand Central branch. There are 3 tunnels. 4, 2, 3, that's what that one is, and 1. Actually, I stand corrected. The tunnels are lettered. D, B, C, and A. This is the East End of Harold interlocking. And Amtrak is going off with the catenary poles heading up towards New Haven and Boston. Yeah, we're going down track number 2. Four, 2, 1, 3, right to left, and the 2 tracks on the far end are Port Washington 2 and 1. Woodside Station. There's a rail fan there. The world stops for rail fans on Long Island for this train. There's a road you don't want to drive on down below, Queens Boulevard. Terrible road. And we're chasing a train heading up the Port Washington branch here. He's headed to Great Neck. The old New Haven Bay Ridge branch with trash containers up there. Going down a straightaway, main line. Straight down from just east of the Winfield Junction where the Port Washington branch converges to just east of the Forest Hill Station. There's the Long Island Local Way. I'm not crazy about driving on that thing either. This is White Pot Junction. This is where the Rockaway branch diverged from here. The westbound main went underneath that little bridge there. Forest Hills. They're extending the platform here. You can see the construction work being done. Yeah, he's moving. We'll be slowing down for the Jamaica's interlocking complex very soon. Once he gets east of Jamaica on most of the electrified portion out to Babel, he'll be doing 80. Then the rest of the way it's pretty much 65 with certain areas of speed restrictions. There's Kew Gardens. If you ever want food and spirits around Kew Garden Station, go to Austin's Ale House. I've never been there, but I heard it's very good. This is the west end of J. Interlochen here. Back in 1950, there was a very deadly wreck in this area. A train stopped and a following train rear-ended it. Well, it was a mess. It wasn't a great year for the railroad. They had that one and the Rockville Center wreck. Should have mentioned, a lot of people watch my channel, as you well know. You just never know sometimes who's watching your channel. You know, you never know sometimes. Today, I had called a gardener to come over to my house and cut the shrubs and the bushes and the maple tree in the back, cut the branches down a little bit. And so I went out to talk to the guy when he pulled up in front of the house. I walked up to him, told him what he had to do, and he says, "Hey, are you the retired rail fan of one guy?" I was flabbergasted. He was flabbergasted. So I said to the guy, "Well, now that you know who I am, I expect you to do the job for nothing." So I was just kidding. But he was doing a good job, but hopefully he was incentivized to do an even better job. You never know, man. You just never know who you're going to run into. All right, we're approaching a masterful, huge complex of J as we approach Jamaica Station. Look at that labyrinth of switches of J. They usually run them through here on track 6. Of course, he doesn't stop. There's J Tower. They're in the process of dismantling the whole tower on the east end. Yep, here's Jamaica Station, and indeed we're going through it on track 6. railroad is very anxious to get this train through here. Years ago when it used to stop at Jamaica, it tied everything up. The train was usually so long the locomotive stopped way past Hall Tower. By skipping Jamaica, makes things a little easier to handle. We're poised to head down the Montauk Branch. You're going to see some construction here. They're building a jump over to allow trains to go in and out of Jamaica without conflicting with Atlantic Branch trains that duck down here. Yeah, look at that. When it's done, it should definitely speed up the trains out of Jamaica Station, heading east, coming from the east into the station. Here, the Atlantic Branch ducked underneath. You can see it just going right over the top. It's sort of Long Island Railroad's version of the Portal Drawbridge construction. That's really progressing. That should be open by the end of the year. That'll alleviate a lot of headaches for Amtrak and New Jersey Transit. That experience with the gardener today, you never know. I might go to the grocery store and buy some bread, and the clerk might say, "Hey, you the retired rail fan horn guy?"
What do you mean?
I've met watchers of my channel in the darndest places: Harrisburg, Altoona, Syracuse. Well, I dig that people like what I put out because I try my darndest to put out good stuff. And I have a wife that's pretty tolerant of it. Well, that's the old remnant of Union Hall Street, that platform. Oh, I wish that was still here. The train watching from there was extraordinary. All right, we're clear of whole interlocking, pretty much. Be picking up speed, climbing up the jump over the Montauk Branch over the main line, leaving the main line. You'll get a good look at the Hillside Maintenance Complex where they repair the MU equipment. The crews that run the Cannonball are extra list crews. They run it out to Montauk and then they take a crew van back to Jamaica. All right, we're leaving the main line here. Get a good look at the shop. A lot of M9s down there, including a C3. 1-yard maintenance away facility. We dispatch a lot of work trains out of here. Up until recently, they stored a couple of grotesque-looking, yellow-painted former B&M Osgood Bradley cars. They used to toil on the railroad years ago. As passenger cars, they were great cars. They've long since been removed. They were terrible eyesores. One of them was down there in the bushes. St. Albans. Tracks separate there. That was where the old Springfield Garden Station used to be. Island Parkway down there. Yeah, passing through Rosedale, Queens, we'll be into Nassau County in just a minute. Joined up with the Atlantic Branch on the right. Beautiful afternoon. Interlocking is Valley 1. There's usually nobody in front of this guy. He can really stretch his legs. Valley Stream. Up ahead here, you'll see the West Hempstead Branch diverge. It's Valley 2. There it goes. Right now it's just us and the Long Beach branch on the right. That'll be leaving after we pass the next station at Lynbrook. Lynbrook. Saw a buff there. Gentleman in the rear locomotive usually sounds his horn for rail fans. He rides this train as a general foreman. He's going to be retiring after Labor Day weekend. So the last run of the Cannonball, you want to get out there and get that horn salute from the rear engine. He'll probably be a little more flamboyant for that event. Okay, here's where we start to get into the 80-mile-an-hour track here. And he'll do just about every bit of it. St. Agnes Cathedral, Rockville Center, the headquarters of the Diocese of Rockville Center. Right here we'll pass by Sylvester Stallone interlocking. Rocky interlocking. Right here. Oh, now he's pouring it on. We're at ground level here. It's the only stretch of ground level track on the Babylon electrification, pretty much, on the northern fringes of Oceanside here. Station is Baldwin. Bayport interlocking. There's the old port tower. And the two tracks on the far end of the storage yard, Freeport. There's a Meadowbrook Parkway. Station is Merrick. Station is Belmore. It's a unique station. It houses 14 cars. Belmore has more than enough car lengths where Amityville, Copiague, and Lindenhurst don't have enough. They only hold 10 cars, those three stations. I'm hoping that they'll extend those platforms. Station is Wanta. If you're going to rail fan this train, you really have to be careful, because on a day like today, if you're on the west end of the platform, the sun's going to be right in your face. Better off having part of the platform canopies block out some of the sunlight, and then turn your camera and get the rear end and get that horn salute. That interlocking we passed back there was Wanta interlocking. This is Seaford Station. Yeah, a couple of fans there. Next station is Massapequa. Right after that, you'll see Massapequa interlocking. And in between the two mains, you'll see the storage track. Oh, quite a few fans there. There's a train in the yard here, the storage track. They pretty much run the Grand Central, those trains that terminate and originate here. Massapequa Park. Right here we're passing what's left of Sunrise Mall. It's just a fragment of what it once was. It was built in the early 70s. Just passed over Sunrise Highway. Well, here's Amity interlocking. Amityville interlocking. We're in Suffolk County right now. Amityville. He usually passes through Lindenhurst around 4:55. Looks like he's in pretty good shape to do that. 4:52. Got this train at Copaig last Friday. We're about to hit Copaig. Here's Copaig. Might see a rail train at the east end of this platform. Nope, didn't see anybody. There's usually somebody hanging around at Lindenhurst. Maybe I'll see my gardener there. I don't know where he lives. I know what train that was. That was 17, Montauk to Jamaica. He hasn't stopped since he left Spionk. Next stop is Jamaica. But here's Lindenhurst. I got 4:54. It's in great shape. And we'll approach Babylon. We'll be slowing down for the Babylon interlocking complex. Central Branch joins up here as we cross Great East Neck Road. It's a west end of Babylon interlocking. Just past Little East Neck Road we went over. This bridge here is Litchfield Avenue. There used to be grade crossings here when it was at ground level. Okay, we're going down track 3 at Babylon Station. Here we are. Ooh, there's an M3 there. That came here on train 166. I saw that depart Penn Station at 3:38. There's old Babylon Tower. Still Babylon interlocking. We'll be passing by the washer for the MUs that come out of the yard, and then you'll see the yard itself. The yard is not in Babylon, it's in West Islip. There it is, washer. And here's the yard right here. Coming up to our first grade crossing. You heard that beautiful K5LA blowing for Higby Lane. I think that was an equipment move from Patchogue to Babylon. It went out east on train 76 earlier. Now from here outward to Montauk, our max speed will be 65. We're off the third rail territory now. That was a Robert Moses Causeway. That's a busy road in the summer going to the beaches. Windsor Avenue, Brightwaters. He's coming to Bayshore. There's a bunch of crossings there. Clinton Avenue, 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, 3rd Avenue, 2nd Avenue. Bayshore. Next two crossings, Pennacook Avenue and Brentwood Road. Brentwood Road is one of my favorite spots to rail fan. Crossing is Saxon Avenue.
John, Mike, all in the same area, and I realized
Next crossing is Grant Avenue.
Who's going to be living in the city? He's like, I'm probably going to be living in the city, so I'm going to try to get to Edgewater, and I choose to kind of move to Edgewater. And I told him lightly, like, I would also move to Edgewater. You know what I mean? Like, whenever I'm presenting myself, and I would do that. And, like, you know how we do that for that, so, like, take it, and then, like, amplify it. John?
Nassau Avenue. Islip. Islip Avenue. Next crossing is Irish Lane. There's 45, Speonk to Jamaica. Thrown switch this area out towards Y from the east end of Babylon. Interlocking is all Rule 251 with position light signals facing in one direction only. Well, the signals on the westbound are facing one way and the eastbound the other. There's a Heckscher Parkway as we approach Great River Station. Saw a number of rail fans there. That was Great River Road, Connecticut Avenue. Here's one of those signals. There's Bubbles Falls.
Especially in that situation. No, but you also saw the train station, like right there, also the train. I got closer, he was like, oh, wait, left. Oh, train.
27A Route 27A Bridge. You'll see another position light signal up here. See it? Oakdale. That was Oakdale Bohemia Road.
Where they hang out, right? They hang out like Coachella, Bergen. Somewhere out, it's somebody's very called Foosh. You gotta drink that. That was not fun. It was actually fun. Like the motivational like TikToks. This guy gets 5 gym for 60,000. Charge 5 million. You should sign up for 100 million. 100 million. That's 500 million.
Locust Avenue. You heard the engineer call out the distance signal to Y. They have to call out the distance signals on the PA.
Read that out loud.
Cherry Avenue. Sayville. That was Green Avenue. Lakeland Avenue. Lincoln Avenue. Shortly we'll be coming to Y interlocking where we end our double track. There's Montauk Highway going underneath. Okay, interlocking is Y, the letter Y, on the single track. Several grade crossings here at Bayport coming up. that was Oakwood.
Right? I feel like no. The only good thing about it is that we had the other events is like great. When he did Instant Purple, it's like nobody there. But then like when he got off, I'm like
Snedeker. Bayport Avenue. Crossing was Gillette Avenue. It's the old Blue Point station site here. Atlantic Avenue. Coming into Patchogue. River Avenue. Next is West Avenue. PD1 interlocking, passing by Patchogue Station on the right. Ocean Avenue. This is PD2. That's the schoolhouse track. The track on the far end is the fence track. Ryder Avenue. Bay Avenue. Grove Avenue. Conklin Avenue. Pine Neck Avenue. South Country Road crossing. Orchard Road. Dunton Avenue. Munsell Road. Champlain Avenue. This is the old BO block limit. Got some rail equipment in here. It's Bellport Station Road. There was Jay out there. I saw Jay at Islip when I got the inspection train on Tuesday. Arthur Avenue, Barney's Lobster Rolls over there, good seafood place. Stump Road, just past the old Brookhaven station site, entering the Wertheim Wildlife Refuge. the old Bardo Road. It's a rather expansive wildlife refuge. It's a place you don't really want to hike around in during the summer months with all the bugs and the ticks and everything, especially with the weather we've been having lately. Today isn't so bad compared to the rest of this week. Soon we'll pass over the Carmen's River. Smith Road. We're approaching Mastic-Shirley. Next crossing is William Floyd Parkway. We pass Mastic-Shirley Station and then we hit JJD1 interlocking, the siding that ends at JJD2. The initials are the initials of a former Long Island Railroad president, James J. Dermody, who lives out here. That was William Floyd. There's a Dunkin' Donuts that years ago back in the 70s riding on the early morning Montauk train. Used to stop and get coffee for the crew. It's JJD siding here. Quite a few meets take place here, but not for this train. JJD2. Mastic Road. You hear that horn, that K5LA. I mean, I'm a nut about K5LA horns, but that 518 K5LA horn is outstanding. Definitely put it on a pedestal, even with the K5LA horns. That's the Forge River right there. Bay Point Drive. James Hawkins Road.
Old Neck Road.
We're approaching Santa Moriches. The next three crossings are Brookfield Avenue, Chichester Avenue, and Railroad Avenue. Before Railroad Avenue, you'll see the switch to MO. It's the site of the former Santa Moriches station. All these block limit stations were eliminated when they put 261 out here. All the sidings are remote controlled from the Babylon desk at the Jamaica Control Center. That's Pine. This is East Moriches, site of the old East Moriches station. It was 27A that went under. Locust Avenue. Up ahead here we'll be running a sharp turn to the right. And when we come out of that curve, we'll hit the old PT block limit. And also at that spot is where the old Eastport Manorville branch joined up with this Montauk branch. That was abandoned, I think, in the 1930s. Went up to Manorville on the main line. Trains used to use it to come out this way. Tuck Avenue, Eastport. East Moriches Boulevard. Going through Eastport. Bay Avenue. I don't know all of these crossings, but I'll note them in graphics or voiceover narration. Okay, right now we're heading down the straight track towards Spionk and SK Interlocking. We don't stop at Spionk, but we're getting pretty close to the first station that we do stop at, Westhampton. Passing by Spionk Station on the right. This is Phillips Avenue. There's SK1 here. There's the yard. There's an MP15 sitting here. Otherwise, the yard is empty. Here comes SK2. Jagger Road.
Opening up the first six cars will open up first. Sitting in the back of the station, we will reposition the train and then open up the rear section. All of the cars will open up. Please be patient. Reposition the train and then open up the rear section. All cars will open up.
All right, remember I mentioned about the Dunkin' Donuts at Mastic-Shirley, where we used to stop and get coffee for the crew? One of the conductors on board that train, it was the early morning Montauk train, was a fellow by the name of Hazel Smith. His son, Michael, also became a conductor. And he lives out this way, and he's going to be watching the train go by as we leave Westhampton. Michael, alias the Captain. He loves his Captain Morgan like I love my red wine. Frankly, if I drank any of that Captain Morgan, it would probably kill me. I'm not into the hard stuff. Michael is a good friend of the foreman that rides in the rear engine. Old Country Road.
By the way, we should definitely use something for Christmas section. where we should go sometime. Well, that's already locked in.
It's like a private crossing. As soon as we stop at Westhampton, I will shut off the camera and resume it when we start up after our second stop.
He's like, Craig, where's your hotel? He's like, where are you staying? He's like, yeah, just no one cares. We do, we're just here. Like, yeah, at first, like, you're like, oh, you can,
This train, other than Montauk, this train stops at all the stations whose last 7 letters are Hampton. Westhampton, Southampton, Bridgehampton, Easthampton. Hampton Bays, we don't stop. Amagansett, we don't stop. All right, this is the old siding of WH. Westhampton at 5:38 p.m. Pretty much on time. We're just departing after our second stop in Westhampton. This is Old Riverhead Road. Next stop is Southampton.
Southampton Station will be next. Southampton next. Once again, first 6 cars will open up. And we'll reposition and open up the rear section. Southampton next.
This area we're skirting the south end of is Westhampton Airport, otherwise known as Francis Gabreski Airport. He was a World War II fighter ace and a former Long Island Railroad president. This is the site of Westhampton Air National Guard Base. Back in the early 80s, I flew a C-130 Hercules out of here with my unit to Niagara Falls Air National Guard Base to perform a ceremony for a retiring general. And then we flew back here the same day. I was a member of the 552nd Air National Guard Band based in Roslyn, New York. I was a trombone player. Old Main Road. Old Depot Road. This area is called Quogue. Quogue had a station here until 1998. That was old County Road Route 113 that went underneath. Actually, State Route 113. Now it's a county road. Mid-Hampton Avenue. There's a set of twin grade crossings here that just feet apart from each other. You see them. Two roads, bang, bang. Lewis Road. There they are. Serves like a trailer camp. The two crossings were Gleason Drive and Oak Street. That little rinky-dink crossing was Central Boulevard. This area we're going through is community of West Tiana and Tiana. That is incorrect. We're actually going through the area called East Quogue. Rustic out here. This car is not terribly full. I mean, I have the seat all to myself. And there are a number of two-seaters that are empty. But further back on the train, it's in the red. Meaning the car is pretty full. This area is actually West Tiana. You'll note Montauk Highway going underneath, and on the other side of it is Tiana before we approach Hampton Bays. That was Montauk Highway underneath. We're approaching Hampton Bays. The interlocking there is RPK. That was East Tiana Road. Initials of a former railroad official, Raymond P. Kenny, who died during the COVID pandemic. well-respected railroader. He later went to New Jersey Transit. He was well-respected everywhere he went. He didn't live out here, but they named it RPK in his honor here. It used to be called ND. Springville Road. There's 3 RPKs here. Hampton Bay Station. It was Quogue Avenue. Every Friday during the summer, trains 10, the Advanced Cannonball, and 17, which we had seen earlier at Babylon, meet here.
Got some boats. I like Peter, Sean, and Jayla, like they just go to bed earlier. Like, you know, I'm willing to stay.
Talking again about Ray Kenny, I didn't know him very well, but K3. in the 1960s, I was with the Sunrise Chapter NRHS, the chapter in Babylon, and he belonged to that chapter. And he was a youngster back then, and he got a job with the railroad. And I remember running into him in Penn Station at the information booth. He was working there, and he handed out a bunch of timetables to me.
That's like, back with him to Paul, he's like the party boss, like breaks okay, cuts it up, taking care of everybody, doesn't sleep all night. You wake up in the morning, house is perfectly clean because he cleaned it already. Like he's the
Soon we'll be approaching one of the scenic highlights of this ride out to Montauk, the Shinnecock Canal overpass bridge. You'll see the locks of the canal. Very busy boat avenue.
Are you ready for the story? I thought for sure you'd be in the car. I was like, averaging guy. Okay. Yes, he has a good job. Of course. So it's white flights Wednesday night. What are the flight doing? No. My flights Wednesday afternoon. Sorry, Wednesday night. Midnight flight. This flight's at 5 p.m. Tuesday night. So he texted me today. Or he didn't text me. We're like, he's packing up. She's going to some flight. Yeah. I'm trying to check out the flight. And his face was like, it's something.
All right, here's the canal.
No life. Yeah. The story's hilarious. And then he's like, sorry.
like expired or in that 6-month window?
No, he already expired. But he went. It's weird because he's like on top of his shit. Very unlikely. So anyway, he's like, not freaking out. He's like, I don't get this trip. Like, you guys are having hours. Like, I gotta do, change his flights the next day. And he was there. He was just there for 10 years. Right? I'll do the trip. He did it to you. Yeah. So that same morning, I don't know if I told you, my engineering team lives in next to it. So we had scheduled a lesbian offsite following week, so I was going to go straight to the church. So I changed my ticket such that it was just a one-way, and I did it that way. So I saw like 3 more hours.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Yeah. You like that some flexibility.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, if he doesn't figure out his path to work by like 10 a.m., we'll cancel, remember with you guys.
Yeah, let's take the flight.
Yeah. So then he
Peconic Road. I can remember a time back in the 70s when the track through here was in terrible condition. There was like 30-mile-an-hour speed restrictions on it. Very light rail. In the late 70s, they pretty much rebuilt it. Smoother, faster. Between Amagansett and Montauk, one time I was riding on one of those trains on the slow track, and my father was trying to pace the train with his car, and he was tying up traffic behind him. He was going so slow. Where the old Southampton College used to be located here. Crossing was Tuckahoe Road. And look at all the westbound traffic here. I don't enjoy driving out here during the summer months. This is Tuckahoe Lane. McGee Street. Bishop's Lane, Moses Lane. 518 is the king of the K5LAs on this road. 411 is a pretty good one. 405 is melodious. 518 is way above the rest of them. Very authoritative, forceful. Pretty sound. The K5LA horns are forceful, but they're not exactly a beautiful sound. They're pretty ominous, but they take no prisoners. Okay, we're coming into Southampton, site of another interlocking, SH. To the right of the right-of-way here, you can't see it, is a restaurant called The Prospect. Years ago, it used to be called John Duck's. I used to eat here a lot as a kid with my grandparents. And on the way home, we would always make that obligatory stop at Spionk Station to look at the diesels. We'll resume after we start up from our second stop. Okay, next stop is Bridgehampton. This train has two of the best horns on the locomotives that are powering it. 518, 504. It's got the loudest K5LA horn.
This is the train to Montauk. The next station is Bridgehampton.
Bridgehampton Station is next. Bridgehampton is next. Again, first 6 cars will open up and move position. And open up the rear 6 cars.
It's SH3. I think there's only two interlockings, SH2 and SH3. David White's Lane. County Road 39A.
What? I know, I think that's hilarious. I was just about to ask, do they have it or no? This also smells like straight everything else.
See some vineyards out here.
It was fun. We had a great time. Yeah,
Good wine tasting.
Sorry, that was only to get to Paris. How was Paris? Our weekend was good. We did like golf, pickleball, like went in the water. I told Joe, and I meant this genuinely. I was like, soccer's very good with the canoes, and he thought it was the absolute funniest thing in the world. Like he could not stop laughing at that. Soccer being Pocahontas.
Stars at eyes. How did he become so
Old Mill Road. I think Michael was telling me that the guy who was blowing the horn in the rear engine is wearing an orange shirt. I have to look for him when I get to Montauk. If he's blowing at the horn in the back with that 504, I'd love to hear that, but all the way up here in the first car, I can't hear anything but the 518. Deerfield Road. Hayground Road. Scuttle Hole Road.
Weather was really nice. It was so goddamn nice. Lies were up there. I spent a good time with him, which I haven't like ever.
Yeah.
Actually, I was with Joey. We seem to get along really well.
Him and Joe did?
What?
Him and Joe got along?
Yeah, it seems. It was all good. How was that?
So we got there Thursday, was there Thursday night, right now, Saturday night. We got recorded. Awesome. It was like best well there.
Well, our next stop is Bridgehampton. That's at the side of the old BH block limit. It's got a very sharp curve here to the left.
Places you went previously.
So like we go like we went to do you know the meteor shows?
Yeah.
We saw like also down was really cool. They could see like Van Gogh one day like original art.
Yeah. I didn't
And then we just found like this one here, and then we asked them, we were like, hey, we got here.
Seems like riding the Cannonball is a once-a-year tradition. This is the third time I've done it.
Shout out to like 4 red there. Not too bad. Yeah. And they had like a party with us.
They didn't mind you're American.
No, they love America.
Snake Hollow Road.
This station is so just
How you like drive like
You went on.
yeah.
Bridgehampton,
I'll tell you about that.
New York and Atlantic once did business at this far. That was years ago.
I don't know. I think you did the award. Yeah. And then Alex went to.
I love this.
I was only here for a day.
Oh yeah, we went.
Next stop, Easthampton.
the next station is Eastport.
Yeah, New York and Atlantic, I think, served this spur right here. Yes, the New York and Atlantic served Bridgehampton at Pulver Gas, but that service ended around 2018, roughly.
Like once a quarter, Fridays off. So I think it's 48 on Friday. And all this and
Lumber Lane. Around this location is where the Sag Harbor branch diverged off this line. Service to Sag Harbor ended in 1939. Sag Harbor was the end of the line for this routing until the Montauk extension was built from here to Montauk in 1895. Bridgehampton Sag Harbor Turnpike. Earlier I was talking about the Eastport to Manorville branch. That branch was actually abandoned in 1949, but you could still see parts of the right-of-way well into the 1960s. You have to look pretty hard to find any indication of that routing today, although once I did find a milepost in the woods. That was in the late 1990s. If I tried to locate the right-of-way today, I'd probably be trespassing in people's backyards. Yeah, around this location, we're roughly 100 miles from Penn Station. This area we are passing through is called Sagaponack. To my knowledge, it did not have a train station, but it has a nice old-fashioned general store. It's a private crossing. Wainscott Harbor Road. Beautiful evening. It's very similar to the ride I took last year. Only it's a little bit warmer than it was last year. When I went out to Montauk last year, when I was walking back to the station at night, I was getting cold. Tonight in Montauk, it's only going to go down to 70, so that shouldn't be too bad. Wainscott Northwest Road. Around this location was the old Wainscott Station, which was discontinued in 1939. Believe it or not, it was the only Long Island Railroad station that had segregated waiting rooms. I mean, that was going on a lot down south, but in New York State, shame on you. In fact, shame on you everywhere. Buckskill Road. Around here, I think we passed it already, is Easthampton Airport. Oh no, we're getting close to Easthampton Station when you go over New York Route 114. Easthampton Greenport Road. Part of that road is over the water. From North Haven to Shelter Island, it's over water, and from Shelter Island to Greenport is over water. That was it right there. Two ferries have to be negotiated to go from Easthampton to Greenport. King Street. Okay, this is one of the busier stations on the line, Easthampton. Race Lane, Easthampton. Easthampton is where it's at out this way. It's a beautiful town. Very short walk from the train station to the village, unlike Montauk where you have to walk about 1.5 miles.
The next station is Montauk, our last and final stop.
Easthampton used to have a block limit station lettered HA. It was discontinued in 1950.
All right, departing Easthampton for our next stop of Montauk. Due in at 6:56. We are operating on time. That's Osborne Lane.
This is the train to Montauk. The next station is Montauk.
Yeah, Montauk. It's a good walk to the village of Montauk, about 1 mile or 1.5 miles. Supposedly they run a shuttle bus service, but I've never seen it. I don't know if it's running, but it's a nice evening, so I got plenty of time before I take 21 back to Babylon. So plenty of time to walk down, have a leisurely dinner, walk around the village a little bit, and walk back to the station. This guy's a good engineer, got good equipment, nice pickup with these locomotives. Well, you have engines that have great horns. The locomotive performances usually matches those horns.
Abraham's Path.
The K5LA horns.
I've told this story multiple times where he would chug the beer and then just throw it like a movie. And I'm like, now, yeah. I'm like, what are you doing, guys?
Windmill Lane.
The engines with the K5LA horns are the 504, which is on the rear of this train, 509 and the 521. 504 is the best, 509 is right behind them. 521 isn't too bad, but not quite as loud or as distinct as the 504. The 518 is in a class by its own. Answered. There's the old freight house. It used to be a beautiful passenger depot that they tore down in 1964. Beautiful depot. Right around here is AG. It's a siding with electric lock switches. We're doing a Montauk at 6:56 p.m.
Yo. Hey, Riley, what up?
Do they count the arrival as the first section arriving, or do they count the arrival as the second section of the train
Do
arriving?
you guys have a card there that we can drop our shit in by any chance?
Well, as long as I can get off the train
Card there that we can drop our shit
before the advertised arrival time, as far as I'm concerned, we're on
Okay,
time.
then can we just come straight from the station and drop our stuff over there? Amazing. Thank you.
Train will unload the passengers in the first 6 cars and then pull up
Okay, we'll do.
pretty much to the bumper block and discharge the passengers in the rear 6 cars.
Great. That was very impressive.
I just like, I feel like for that type of work, maybe like it's close and somebody's gonna be able to drive.
Doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Awesome.
Dude, we might get sunset. You will get sunset.
We are gonna get some.
If we can get it.
I like what's I mean, it's still early.
I need to change my shirt. I look like
Whatever. You also change it on the go. You also change it like at the park. At the park. Bro, I got 10 minutes right here. It's a problem.
I'm gonna finally get home around probably around 20 to 1 in the morning. I'll take a flashlight and check and see how the gardener did on my bushes and the tree in the backyard.
these pants in the front.
When I left the house, he was making great progress. There was about maybe 3 feet of bush leaves on the ground. I'm sure he serves a lot of customers, but he probably got a little extra pleasure out of serving me. You never know who you're going to meet on the street. The guy said to me, he says, I was always hoping I would meet you at some train station. Instead, he met me in the front of my house. I walked up behind his truck when I saw the saw. I knew he was here to do the job on the bushes. He says, hey, you know, you got to cut these bushes at the end of the sidewalk. And he just looked at me transfixed and said, I know that voice. Are you the retired rail fan guy? Unfortunately, I think he'll still send me a bill. Said he was anxious to see this video.
Let's see if we can Uber. If it's like 10 minutes away, we just walk. Yeah, it's all mine.
Napeek Meadow Road. Incidentally, I got home from this outing about 1 o'clock in the morning and I checked the work that Nick, that's the gardener's name, I went to check the work that Nick did and he did an outstanding job. Absolutely outstanding. I'm going to call his employer and rave about him on Monday. Hey, sometimes putting out a decent YouTube channel does you a little bit of good. Gorgeous evening. I wonder if my barber watches my channel. If she does, I'm going to demand free haircuts. My barber is a Thai woman named Cha. I know a woman I go to at the Rite Aid that's going to be closing. They're going to close the Rite Aid stores in Long Island. She's
from the Philippines. She was asking what my YouTube channel was. I hope she's watching it, not getting bored. Okay, we're in Hither Hill State Park now. And soon we'll be coming up to a little crossing that's really best accessed with a four-wheel drive vehicle. My gardener actually says he drives around in there sometimes and sees the trains. I don't think I'd want to go in here during the summer months. Not without at least putting 3 feet of insect repellent on me. There it is. Imagine driving a car down that road. I don't think anything would be left but nuts and bolts. One rail friend I know likes to go in here and hike, but not in the summer. Should be getting a nice seascape scene here in a minute. Ah, look at this. Look at that, man. And that body of water is Gardner's Bay in Connecticut, is seen in the far end. It seems like last year I had a more unobstructed view of the water. The trees are growing pretty much out of control here. When I was younger, you could see it for quite a distance.
Very impressive. See, we're gonna get there. Actually, yeah, you're up too. Dude, I love Jared. I'm so much here. Huge bone.
I used to love. Did you ever know Wegmans? Wegmans had a great hot bar that had like great drinks. Really? I'm sure it's the same shit.
Yeah, you're also sluts.
Mine are so shitty.
You know where it's at? You got them on Saturday at a restaurant.
I don't know. Dude, I love lemonade. Really? Yeah.
And as we slow down and approach Montauk,
Look at that.
you see a glimpse of Fort Pond Bay.
The water looks very inviting. Great visibility.
Yeah, it was the airport crazy. My flight was short. I was with you, remember? We got there together.
Shore Road crossing.
It was delayed or whatever. I was with Amy, Aaron.
We passed by the end of black signal at MY.
Were you buoyed up? He said, I played games. What'd you play? What do you mean? Like, we were like playing like random fucking like wait in the airport games. What's that about? Get to know each other better. Are we here?
There's the signal right here, the beginning of the block. Going west.
Is that place of Monday? Which place? The Louis? I heard that. Where we were at night.
Yeah.
Why does it look like that? The alligator pub now. Were we there at night? What?
Yeah, this is your rational.
Wasn't that her name?
Yeah.
Oh, you sent me a photo.
Yeah, remember that?
Where was that?
Labor's back.
Or Labor's. This is the house.
Last year.
That was such a great one.
Gave him the type of like Poconos.
At Montauk, your doors will open up.
Alright, were you able to find what? Were you able to find a car?
Yeah, I'll say it's the final stop. Okay, we're hitting the platform at Montauk. We're due in here at 6:56. By the time we stop, it should be 6:54, 2 minutes early. Of all the 3 Cannonball rides I've taken, this is the only one that was actually on time. All the others were a little bit late. One of them was about 20 some odd minutes late, the very first one I did. Pretty much a flawless trip. Good power. Here we are, Montauk, the end of the line.
Starting going forward, I'm like, that's why I don't say so.
I got 6:53 and a half.
There's our great engine here, 518. Teaming up with the 504, they did a stellar job. Good pickup on these. This is just the front of the train's crowd. Although some of them may have probably tried to walk through the cars to save time. All right, he's going to pull up. Yeah, 518's got an electronic bell now. 1,000% better than that Salvation Army bell it used to have. And these folks are here at Montauk for a weekend of revelry, or maybe even longer than that. A lot of ocean resorts here. We'll take a look at the ocean later. To be yarded. This is the equipment from Train 10 that came in from Hunters Point Avenue earlier. And the West engine is good old number 416. This has seen a lot of Montauk this week. It was out here on the inspection train, and it wied its train in the Y track here. And here it comes, a Cannonball equipment with the 518 on this end and the 504 on the east end, or the west end.
Montauk Village. Wow, it's one of the biggest seagulls I ever saw. And here's the mighty Atlantic Ocean, just a short walk from downtown. I feel like jumping in there right now, only I don't have a suit.
At 9:30 a little while ago, train 22 arrived from Jamaica with the 414. Got a lot of great horn locomotives in the yard right now. Got this, got the 411, got the 518, and you got the 504. He's backing up, he's gonna go in the yard.
The time is 10:06. We're already 3 minutes late leaving here, and the equipment for 21 is backing into the station now, taking their sweet old time. This train's got probably the finest horns you could find on any Long Island Railroad diesel locomotive. Engine coming towards us, which will be trailing, is the 518 with the great K5LA, and the locomotive leading will be 504 with the best K5LA. This is the Cannonball's equipment. I don't think the front cars are going to be open, so I probably am not going to hear the 504 horn pretty good, and it's dark. But here's one of the favorites, the 518. Train 21, though an impressive 12-car train, is the slow boat to China. Makes every station stop from here to Babylon, and then Jamaica. Well, after a 2.5-hour ride from Montauk, finally got to Babylon. Get to see this long consist pull out. 504 on this end, the K5LA, here he goes. He's going down to Montauk Branch. Goes with 518 on the rear, still got his Cannonball placards on. What a day.